Okay, so let's get started. Here is the top 10 reasons why I choose Samsung S4 as my smartphone for the next 5 years. Number 10, we start with number 10 first, is that you can remove the back panel, right? The casing, it's a plastic, right? Cheap plastic. It's pretty thin actually, but anyway, the point is that you can replace the battery. Now the battery itself lasts quite a long period of time. It lasts almost a day for me. If I turn on the Wi-Fi and GPS, it will last me for sure the whole day, right? That's one thing. So even if I decide to turn on my GPS and my my Wi-Fi, I can always buy a battery, right, and replace it every time it runs out of you know, juice. The next thing that, you know, HTC One M8 and the iPhone 5S or even 4S does not have ability to do is the fact that you can actually replace the micro SD chip in there. Now here I have a micro SD chip which has, I was able to upgrade to 64 gigabytes. Alright, that's a lot of data. And if you go check you know, iPhone 5 64 gigabytes versus its 32, you can see the price difference, almost $100–200 more, right? I was able to get this micro SD chip for about 40 bucks on sale, right? So I can upgrade. So in addition to its standard 16 gigabytes internal memory, I was able to expand it to 64 gigabytes. Now apparently I heard there's some micro SD that is actually 120 gigabytes. I haven't tested that out yet. Maybe if I have access to it, because right now it's quite expensive, and place the 128 gigabytes in there, I'm able to put a lot of information in there. And I'll explain to you actually why I have 64 gigabytes of micro SD storage in here. Now the reason is because I have, did you know there is a offline Wikipedia that's about 40 gig of information? The entire Wikipedia, all on this little micro SD chip. Okay, I'll show you right now. Let me flip it over. I'll show you the app. And actually I'll have another video on this as well, right? The Wikipedia offline. So this is, I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi right now. I'll show you. Okay, so it's not on Wi-Fi right now, but I'm able to access Wikipedia. For example, let's look at Samsung. Well, actually, let's look at smartphone. I don't want to be, you know, take any name of any company, right? I just want to be neutral on this, so I'm going to put smartphone and see what comes up. Okay, let's go set smartphone there, and voila, look at that. Okay, pretty cool. The whole entire 4.4 million article of Wikipedia on my phone, and the reason I could do that because of this micro SD chip, right? 64 gigabytes. The Wikipedia, the offline Wikipedia, this one is 40 gig worth of information. So you know, in terms of you know having information right instantly in your phone, right, and without using a data plan, this is awesome, right? My take is I don't want to use data plan. It's too expensive. Right now in Canada, for example, if you're gonna go with a major phone company, smartphone company, it costs about you know, if you want a you know unlimited data plan or 2 gig of data plan with the you know the unlimited phone calls, right, or at least at night anyway, will cost you at least $65 a month. Okay, that's minimum. So if I have 7-Eleven pay as you go, it costs me less than $10 a month because I don't use the phone that much. I use Wi-Fi and I use WhatsApp, and when I'm out I just use my you know pay as you go phone, which costs me, like I said, for emergency purpose, it costs me $10 a month, right? And that SIM card, for example, lasts for a year. So you can imagine I don't spend more than $100 on my phone for calling. Okay, so okay, enough with that. Is only top number 10, right? So it's able to change the battery and the micro SD chip. That's number 10. Number 9, this phone initially was using 4.0 to Android OS, I was able to upgrade it to KitKat Android 4.42, right? And it's hardware. It is a 2 gig RAM with 1.9 GHz quad-core processor. So now for 2013, that is a top of the line. For 2014 and beyond, right, this year, it is not up to par, right? But like I said, for what it can do for under 350, I love it. Okay, it's good enough for me. Okay, so that's number 9. So it's able to upgrade to KitKat Android 4.42. It has a very high spec for 2013 hardware, 2 gig of RAM, 1.9 GHz quad-core processor. Okay. Number 8, it has a built-in. When I wish all the phone has that as well. It has a built-in Office. Now it's not the same as Microsoft Office. It's called Polaris Office 5. Okay, and it's compatible with Microsoft Office. Now that's important to me because I need to work on some of the documents. Like here I have a documents, right? PDF file, Word, let me see, Excel, right? So you could do that, and PowerPoint. So I can actually make this phone do PowerPoint, type in my Excel spreadsheet, and work on Word. Now, of course, I would need a keyboard for this, right? So the good thing about this is that it has a USB connector to a keyboard, so you just need to get that connected to it, and you can type on this phone. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it has a good, what I'm saying is it has a good software app built in already. It has Office compatible software, and another thing is it has something called eHealth. This is for S4, Samsung S4. Let me see if you can find it. There it is, S Health. Now what it does is able to monitor your calorie burn and how much you, for example, exercise, right? So I guess you know, you can download an app for all these smartphones, but this actually has built in already, and it has something called comfort level. It's because due to its 9 sensors. One is the temperature and the other one the humidity. Okay, that would be another reason why I choose this phone, but I'll talk about that later on. So that's number 8. So number 8 is Office compatible software and S Health, able to monitor my, you know, my fitness and exercise. Okay, what else? The phone has a 13 megapixel camera. Now you don't compare or base your you know, how good a phone based on the number of megapixels. However, if you look at a lot of picture taken by Samsung S4, a 13 megapixel cam that it has, it's not bad at all. It's actually quite good for day time. Taking this picture, it's awesome. Okay, so 13 megapixel camera, pretty cool. And of course, the camera comes with a special photo software effects, right? Allow you to do all these neat stuff. You can check other video on YouTube on the thing you could do with the software enhancement for the photos, but I'm not going to go into that. Okay, the most important thing is the 13 megapixel camera. Of course, a built-in flash as well there. Okay, another thing that I don't know if other phone may have, I think it has to do with whether your phone is 4.2 Android OS compatible and higher. This camera actually is Miracast enabled. So in that word, if you know what Miracast is, it is allow you to project the screen onto your LCD TV or projector. Okay, so it really has that ability to do that, and also has an NFC support. So in other words, it's able to, you know, sync with devices that support NFC, like Bluetooth, and without do anything, just by touching it, it will able to, you know, sync with Bluetooth and get it working right away. Okay, that's number 6. Number 5, which you may not know, is that this phone actually has the ability to do the remote control, universal remote control. So it has ability to do remote control, infrared. They call it infrared blaster. Okay, so it has this app that you have ability to control your TV, your VCR, pretty much everything, because of the built-in infrared remote control, right? So you just have to download the app and then look for the devices that you want to control. So that's number 5. Number 4, if you look at it, it's a true 1080p HD display, right? And it's almost, I would say, probably close to 5. It's like 4.95 inch across screen, quite big and thin, as you can see here, and light is about 130 grams, right? You can't even feel it. In fact, I find it a bit light for my taste, because it's hard for me to, I keep pressing all these buttons by mistake because it's kind of large for my hand, and it's too thin in some way, and it's kind of too light. Okay, but anyway, it's quite well designed in a sense. It's not the best compared to HTC One M8 or iPhone 5s, but I don't care so much about the design. I care what's functionality. Okay, number 3, it's quite cheap now in 2014 and beyond. You can probably get a Samsung S4 for under 400. Right, mine I was able to get for 350. Now some of you may say, why not just get the Nexus 5, Google Nexus 5? Like I said, the Nexus 5, if you look at the spec, it doesn't allow you to expand the memory as well. I really need at least 64 gig of data storage, right, for storing my Wikipedia offline. So there is not many phones out there with expandable memory. Now unless you want to get Nexus 5 64 gig for add another $200 to that, then it won't, the price of the Nexus 5 will be not $350 anymore. It will be almost $550. Okay, so again, that's the problem. And also you cannot change the battery in the Nexus 5, so that's another problem too. Okay, number 2, okay, we're narrowed down to 2 now, is the 9 sensor that this phone has ability to do. I love phone that has a lot of sensors. It remind me of tricorders in Star Trek. So I'm kind of like geeky in a sense of regarding sensors. So as you can hear, I have an app that can monitor all, what kind of sensors are in this phone, right? The standard accelerometer, gravity, okay. What else? Gyroscope, light detector, magnetic field detector, orientation. And here's something that most of the phone, I don't think it's found in most of the smartphone, but in Samsung S4 and I believe S5 as well, has this ability to monitor atmosphere pressure, which is awesome. Okay, and then of course the proximity detector. Temperature is another one. Okay, so it has a it's built in temperature and atmosphere pressure. This is the 2 sensor you could call it like a bonus, right? But it's important for people like me who love a lot of sensors, allow it to detect its environment. Another one that's not found in most of the phone is sensing relative humidity. Okay, so this is telling me that today is 44.8%. Okay, what else? And of course, standard sound level. Okay, so the 3 sensor that may not be found in other phone: atmosphere pressure, temperature, and humidity, right? So this is something why I actually choose this phone, and I find it very convenient. Lastly, the number 1 reason why I choose this phone is translator. Okay, the offline S translator. Now, the you can use Google Now, right, to translate out, but the only problem with it is that it requires you to be online. Now, the Google Now, the translator, the Google Translate, right, allow you to translate offline, but however, it cannot translate from Chinese to English. Okay, that's important to me. I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. The translator offline, that is number 1 reason. Watch this. Let me, this right now, if you can see, is offline, okay? The Wi-Fi is not turned on. So let's say I want to translate English to Chinese. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do it right now. Let's go back. So what you do is you download the Google Translate, right? And then, you know, you go English to Chinese. So you say, how are you?
你怎么样?
There we go, right? Everybody could do that, right? As long as you download the Google Translate. But can you do this? Can you translate the other way around? So let's say, okay, so let's say I want to go Chinese to English. So if I press this button here, most of the device would have a problem like this, okay? When you're offline, for example. 你怎么样? You see what happened? It doesn't really translate. It translates exactly, you know, in English to English. So, see, with Samsung S4, I was able to actually convert Chinese to English. I'll show you right now. So what I have to do is I have another video, actually, I'll show you how I did that. Okay, let's see. I go to setting, and let's see, where is it? Oh, my device. And under that, I choose language. And instead of voice search, I'm going to change that from English US to Chinese. 中国. There we go. And I'm done. Okay, now click on translate. 你怎么样?
How are you?
我很好.
I'm fine.
你的名是什么?
Your name is it?
Yeah, cool. Okay, you know, there's some problem with it because you don't normally. What I'm trying to say, what is your name? It's saying your name is it. Okay, it's directly translate exactly what it sees. But in Chinese we say that, but which means what is your name? Okay. Thanks for watching. Top 10 reasons why I choose Samsung S4. Maybe not your top 10, but it is mine. Thanks for watching. EducateTube.com.